Evaluate f of x equals 4x plus 7 at each of the following values. So this is written in function notation. The f of x equals 4x plus 7. So what we're saying here is it has an x in it, okay? So for this one here, first one, if I do f of negative 1, that means put a negative 1 where the x is, okay? So 4 times negative 1 plus 7, that's negative 4 plus 7, that is 3, okay? So let's have a look at some of the other ones. All you're going to do is replace the x with whatever it tells you to replace it with, okay? So for this one, I'm just putting a 1. So 4 times 1 plus 7, that will give me 11, okay? Right, let's look at some of the other ones. That's just replacing it with a number, so just kind of do the calculation. How about if you replace it with a letter? Well, f of a is just 4a plus 7. Again, all I've done is replace the x with an a. That's all that is, okay? Let's keep on going. A bit harder one. F of a plus h. F of a plus h, okay? This means replace the x with an a plus h. Now actually, WebWork will accept that. I mean, if I ask you to do the distributive law, that's 4a plus 4h plus 7, but I think you're fine doing that. Now do remember, if you get some harder ones, if you have something like an x squared equation, and if you have to do f of a plus h, okay, that means you've got to do a plus h squared, okay? So if you put in the a plus h into an x squared, please remember that's a FOIL, okay? A plus h. So if you do have to do that one sometime, it will be, let's have a look, a squared plus the outer is ah, the inner is ah, so that's 2ah, and the last is h squared. So do remember that if you've got an x squared somewhere. This is actually quite a nice one because it's just a nice simple x. But remember, I'm replacing the x with a plus h and do all the calculations. Okay, right, let's just go get rid of this. Okay, so f of negative a. Well, again, all I'm doing is this. F of negative a means put a negative a where the x is, okay? So that is just negative 4a plus 7, okay? That's all that is. Right, what do we have here? Okay, so the negative version of... Right, okay, so what you've got here is this. Basically, you are doing this one again, but just sticking a negative in front. So again, if I do f of a, remember that was 4a plus 7. If I do f of negative a, sorry, not that one, not that. If I do the negative version, okay, all I'm saying is put a negative in front of it. Now, please put a negative in front of that. Now, again, WebWork will accept that. If you do have to distribute that, remember, that would give you that. So either one of those two is okay for WebWork. But do remember what that means. Just write a negative in front. But don't just do that. Because, of course, that is not the same as that or that. Okay? So there you go.